We're live, guys. What's going on? What is up? I think I'm gonna add this extra, light. So don't look as green looking, maybe. Green is not my color. What's up, everyone? Whoosh. That light back there is not making me happy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna lower this, but what's up, guys? I'm gonna do a quick stream. And I just want to talk about what's for dinner. I want to know what you guys are going to do for keto dinners or lunches or breakfasts. Thought I would talk about it. Yes. Okay. This is still too high. Yesterday was too low. Now it's too high. Weird, right? Okay. Focus. Focus. Howdy from Fort Lauderdale. Just ate a ribeye steak. One of my favorite foods. Just ate steamed fish and crackers. Well, child, Andrew, that is not ketogenic. Thank you, though. Hit up the like button, Latasha says. Okay, so I'm going to say this really quick, you guys. You know I'm into my organ meats. Ribeye, asparagus, tallow. Yes, love. Love. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be making cauliflower mash. It's been a while since I've made it. I feel like I'm just in that mood, right? So I got some cauliflower. So how I make my cauliflower mash is obviously cut off little green bits here, and I boil it. I cut it up in a bunch of little pieces. I boil my cauliflower. And then I pour it into, then of course I stick a fork in it and I keep testing to see how soft it's getting, just like potato. And then I'll put it into put this in the boiling water, then you put the fork in it. Then when it's soft enough, you put it in a pasta strainer, strain out all the water, and I add like 4, 5, 6 slabs of freaking butter, like big chunks, which are like tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. And then add a little salt, pepper, and garlic, and nutritional yeast. And then I take an emulsifying hand blender, and I just with a hand blender. You guys who do keto, you have to get a freaking hand blender instead of the actual blenders or the bullets. It's just so much easier to clean, and you can get it to the texture that you want just by pulsating. So, boom, that's how I make my cauliflower mash, which is so good. I also make a cauliflower hash brown, but that will be in the book that I'm making, people. Yes. And what I want you guys to understand is that butter, garlic, and a blend. Yes, so good. A lot of you guys who've got issues with plants, right? You don't digest them very well because of all the plant anti-nutrients. A lot of you tend to do well on cauliflower. Not all, but many of you tend to do better on cauliflower, green beans, maybe cook spinach, but a lot of you guys wrapped off spinach too, so you just got to do a lot of experimenting and to see. Now, my favorite protein, right, guys, which I'm going to make, you guys I've done live streams before, like real ghetto style, ghetto heaven, is I'm going to do some, and it's still in the package, I don't want to sit there and have it bleed all over my freaking carpet, but I'm going to do some liver, right? So here we've got some lovely, lovely beef liver. And I'm going to cook the whole thing. Twice a week, steam it before blending it with butter. Yeah, I like to boil it. To me, it gets more like mashed potato with boil. But, so with the liver, I cut it up and I cut off some of the I personally do that. I cut off some of the real hard gristly parts, and then I put it in melted butter, because if you don't, then it will turn green. So the first liver I ever bought as an adult, I cooked it, I pan fried it, and it turned green, and I went back to the butcher and I was like, my liver has mold all over it. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll just give you some new liver. And I was just like, dude, you guys are butchers and don't even know that that's the iron coming out of it. So you marinate it in butter, at least melted butter, an hour. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. And then also, hey, what's up, Deborah? My mom's in the house. And then I'm going to do some avocado, like a sauce. Like, I just feel like blending my avocado, which I've also done before in other videos. So I'll use that hand blender, the emulsifier, and then if I'm saying it right, emulsive. Anyway, and then I will add some lemon, some nutritional yeast, some salt. I don't have problems with nightshades, and a little pepper, and just make a little nice little like sort of like a faux guacamole type of yumminess. That's my dinner for the night, and then I'm going to add at least 6 tablespoons of butter on top of the cooked liver that's already cooked in the butter that I marinated in. So I'll add an additional 6 tablespoons of butter. So it's going to be a very, very heavy fat dinner, and I'll probably just do 3 ounces of cooked beef with my avocado and my cauliflower mash. Put this away. Put it away. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'll have to remember to drink water. So what are you guys having? This over here. Okay. What are you guys having? And I'm going to take questions. I think my topic for tonight was just going to talk about what I was having for dinner. Yes, 3 ounces of protein. I'm going to do 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to have some beef liver and some avocado. Fabulous. And some cauliflower mash. To like up the chat, you guys, you got to collapse the actual chat that you're in, and you'll see a like button, and then you just reopen the chat to join the live stream again. How many avocados do you eat a day? 1 or 2, or 1 large one, 1 or 2. So you don't count the carbs in avocado because there's so much fiber and fat, it slows down the rate at which the carbohydrates hit the bloodstream, so your blood sugar does not spike on avocados. Pork chop with broccoli, yum. I think broccoli is the only food I get a little bloaty on. I wonder what happens if I turn that. That is just driving me nuts. That light, I hope it doesn't drive you guys nuts. I can block it by doing that. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Is celery good? In small amounts, yes. Does liver count as a protein? Of course. Chicken wings and plantains. Plantains is not ketogenic, but I love plantains when I used to eat them. Hi, Steph. The 3-finger protein you mentioned on Dr. Oz show, is that 3 times a day? Yes. So the thing with the Dr. Oz is that they had so many people on that show. If they didn't have so many people, obviously they would have given me a little bit more time to explain. But that whole concept is that I've used with clients. So if you have 3 fingers, right? 3 fingers. So the thickness is really about the palm of your hand. The praying part was just cute, right? So it's 3 fingers, which is about 3 ounces measured cooked. And 2 fingers is around rough, 2 ounces measured cooked as well, 2 to 3 for women. What I was not able to say is that 4 to 5 ounces for men, because it's mostly a female, audience that watches the show. And that's in 3 meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, for newbies. Why is celery bad, please? Rebecca. Never said it was bad, so there you go. Steph, you looked gorgeous in the Dr. Oz. I didn't like it. There's something about me where, maybe it's just because I was so antiquated, and the makeup didn't look bad. It's just for me. It's like how you see yourself. She didn't have time to put on makeup and blend, you know what I mean? And I don't like blue eyeshadow at all. Like, I'm an earth tone color type of girl. Unless I'm going to do something like really high fashion, and then you want, smoky dark blue. So when I saw myself, I didn't look. I felt like my skin couldn't breathe. But that's, we're all self-critical. I was killing, right? Did I not slay that outfit? I was like, what do I wear? What do I wear? What do I wear? My mother's like, you should wear a dress. I was like, Mom, no, I'm not wearing a dress. Like, come on. No, not for that kind of show. And then the producers were like, well, you can wear what you want. Like, you can wear fitness clothing, or you can wear whatever. And then the producer, which he was very sweet, the guy was very sweet. He was like, we can watch former shows to kind of help you decide what to wear. I said, baby, no, we're good. Like, I'm actually into fashion. I think I said that to him. He just ignored me. get a little egocentric, just a little. I was like, no, I'm actually into fashion, so no, I'm not gonna wear what, like, I'm not wearing a cardigan. I am not wearing a cardigan. No, we need to come out slayed with Wonder Woman bracelets, and it just happens to be I've got that type of top. But the top was really cool because it wrapped around the neck, so it was one sleeve was like this, and then it wrapped around, and then the sleeve started here and went down, and I was like, oh. And I got that on Amazon. Like when I was searching around for like funky tops, I was like, oh, slay. Okay, my dinner was grass-fed beef, made meatballs, spinach, and butter. Delish. Love. Love, love. You really stood out, so they should have talked with you more. They should have. I agree. And I think maybe perhaps that I'm so radical. You know, it's like, it's really awesome that I'm on the show, but I mean, I'm just guessing. I think that I'm a little too strict for not their, but everybody's ideology. I'm just different from everybody on YouTube. There's no one just like Steph who's really like, you know, constantly talking about metabolic derangement. Now, Dr. Oz did open the show with, you know, Stephanie's the keto coach, and her like, I can't remember what he said, something about, you know, she helps people with metabolic damage. I love that because that is true. That's like exactly who I am. So, you cringed. You cringed. I cringed more, but you know, I've thought about it. I had a live stream yesterday. I decided to put my live stream on unlisted from yesterday because it's too soon after the show, and I don't want to put any negative energy out there at all, because the experience was really, really awesome. And like I've said in like 20 live streams, the people were really cool to me. I don't subscribe to the stuff that they talk about with the other food. I mean, if I see an avocado there, if I see like an egg yolk on one of the plates, if I see maybe an olive oil every once in a while, if you don't have any anti-nutrients with plant problems, for a salad every once in a while. But you guys right now, I'm like even talking a lot about the carnivore diet. I'm talking about people with histamine intolerance. And so like that's light years ahead of where they're at, because I used to also have cheese and nuts on my website. I actually had it in 2 places, and I removed it and didn't realize that years later there's still cheese on my site, and I was saying no cheese. So I did it too, but I did it a long time ago, and I stopped doing that because of course I work with people that have people who've got autoimmunity, and yeah, I literally screamed and jumped when you came out. Aw, thank you so much, Jessica. And I mean, the alcohol thing, it's like I said, I'm not trying, like yesterday I was so cranked up. I was turned out. I was hyper, and I was talking 100 miles an hour. And if anybody hears me when I'm that cranked up, if you don't know me, I sound so arrogant and sanctimonious. And now I'm way more chill. Dr. I has really adapted this platform to modern audience. Yes. Is my friend JJ Keto. No, I met JJ like 2013. He actually contacted me asking about keto, and he has oscillated. Like he's been on it, he's been off of it. We did a live stream. No, we did stories on my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and he was eating like nachos and French fries. And then we drove to Jersey, and he literally couldn't stay awake. And I was like, dude, you see what carbs do to you? He's like, I need to pull over and get a coffee. I'm like so sleepy. And this guy's a night owl, and he couldn't keep his eyes open. He was so low blood sugar after eating all those starches. Does Kerrygold really have so little casein? I'm supposed to no cheese. And it depends on who's very, very sensitive to casein. If you're very, very sensitive, even you will react off of any grass-fed butter, even though it's like, corn finished. Okay, I'm having fried chicken, organic skin on chicken. Legs fried in lard, then based with butter and Cajun spices with broccoli and Brussels sprouts, fried in lard. Guys, just cranking it up. He's just like, boom, with the freaking palate on that lovely keto food. And here's the thing, you guys are mentioning what you're eating. I check some of my food that's cooking. what you're eating for dinner, and people feel that keto is so restrictive or boring. And as you guys are mentioning what you're eating, it sounds so yummy, right? Let me see, how do they look so healthy? Even that person, yeah, dumb. And here's the thing, like, I have to be careful because I'm so honest. I am not like, when it comes to television or when it comes to my YouTube channel, I pretty much say what I think, and people can't handle it. They just can't. People say stuff about me, but I kind of don't care unless it's somebody I really like. Then I'll be like, oh, you should have told me to my face. Like, I'm cool with it. People don't like me or think what I'm saying is wrong or think that I've done something wrong. Just tell me. But the internet's a very sensitive place to live on. And a lot of things were said on the show that are not my ideology. And what I was trying to explain to you guys yesterday was they are in a different place. Like, when it comes to urine strips, when it comes to cheese and nuts and almond flour and coconut milk and alcohol, like, these things are not a part of my ideology. So I told you guys yesterday that they allowed me to be Coach Steph and for me to say what I wanted to say, and I didn't have to mention any of those foods. So I just kind of thought, like, you know, it's a great opportunity for people to see a 51-year-old woman shredded, right? Shredded on keto, full natty, and they allowed me to do that. And then the rest of it is what it is. At least they're talking about keto. And I said yesterday that probably in time they will think, you know, Steph's a really great resource. She works with a lot of metabolically damaged people. Maybe in the future they'll start talking about, you know, how people have gut dysbiosis and how people can't digest plant foods and how they've been hybridized, selectively bred, how the nut things, like, nuts are very addictive. So a lot of people gobble down a bunch of nuts and then they've got digestive issues on the nuts, they're bloated on the nuts, and like, nobody's talking about these things on keto. So that's like highly, highly problematic. Okay, so we got some comments here and questions. Why did you move away from almond flour? Number one, was it Jogi? Charles, almond flour has too much carbohydrate. That's just like keto 101. You can't have almond flour or almond products. Now, almonds are also baby plants. Baby plants have the highest levels of phytates in them. That's why our other ancient ancestors would soak the nuts to get rid of the anti-nutrients that would completely destroy your body. See, plants want to survive, and nuts are the babies. Nuts and seeds are the babies of plants. And so they have the highest levels of these anti-nutrients. So when people have all these health issues and like lupus, and they've got like autoimmunity, and they've got multiple sclerosis and RA and all this kind of stuff, you don't really factor in the grass-fed, pastured meat that they're eating. That's not creating the autoimmunity. It's the plants. So plants have healing properties, and they also have anti-nutrients that can literally just destroy your immune system. And so almonds are actually pretty toxic. They're toxic. We've just bred the toxins down, but it's not enough to avoid all the problems. People are having skin issues, digestive issues. People are mucousy, they're bloated, they don't look well, and they would never draw the line between all the nuts that they have sitting in their car, gobbling it each day. They would even factor that in. Exactly. So Jacqueline says, almonds make my throat itch. And what's making her throat itch? It's the anti-nutrients in the baby plant that wants to survive to adult, you know, growth stage. You guys, just because plants don't have brains doesn't mean that they don't want to survive. They send signals to each other. They release chemicals to let you know that predators are there. It's a very advanced system that plants have created millions of years before we even came around. Like, they want to survive. And when we just eat stuff, and like people talking about gorillas have a digestive tract 16 times bigger than us. They don't have the same acidity. They can convert the plants and the fiber and the cellulose, and so can cows, into a viable food source, into fatty acid, but we cannot do that. And so people are just sick. And everybody I meet, I can literally be at the airport, at the supermarket, at the gym, and just see a sea of sick people. Even if they're thin, I can recognize an unhealthy face. I can see unhealthy skin. I can see high cortisol. I can see inflammatory responses to plant source foods. I can see it all. You guys don't have the eye for it. I do. No, I don't approve of pistachios. I don't approve of any nuts anymore. Even the macadamia nuts. I mean, it depends on the individual, but a lot of you guys, like, you overeat, you binge on the macadamia nuts, people's weight is shooting up on it like hardcore, which makes me sit and try to understand why are people gaining so much weight on macadamia nuts since they're a monounsaturated fat. I ate nuts and my stomach was sore all day. Another one. Thank you, Shala. And like, you guys making these comments is just proving what I'm saying to be fact. And people are like, where did you get your information from? I'm just like so sick of hearing that. It's like, please, you're giving me a headache. Look, you guys are saying the same things. I really want to know your opinion on shellfish and lobster and crab. I mean, I think they're fine in some aspect if you don't have a shellfish sensitivity, but leaner seafoods are not ketogenic. So at a restaurant from time to time, which I love all those foods, I will have it. But on the daily, I keep towards the fattier meats with that nice liver. Is turkey bacon approved? I mean, not really. Yes, no, yes, no. And I don't like turkey bacon. It's like you're trying to take like a less fatty meat and make it like bacon. Why don't you just eat pastured pork? It's 10 times better for you. How many boiled eggs should a newbie woman per meal? No more than 3. I really like 2 full, 1 yolk, actually, to keep the protein a little bit on the lower side and less of the whites. How many boiled? Okay, I read that. So true on the nuts. Very addictive. Yeah, very addictive. And it's just like, for me, I thought about, I was like, why aren't these, I hope a show wants me on to kind of say the controversy about the ketogenic diet and why people fail on it. I don't know if people I don't know what I never was a big cheese eater, to be honest. My mom had cheese every day, and she also developed a glioblastoma. But, my mom ate cheese nonstop, and as a child, it never appealed to me. So children are very interesting. I did not like vegetables, and now I know why, because of all the freaking bitterness and the anti-nutrients, and I didn't like cheese. I like sugar, though, so that's one, hypocritical aspect. Let me see. Oh, my God, the fat that hangs off the pork loin, right? Drool, Corey, for real. How do you cook your eggs? I cook them all ways. I scramble them, I boil them, I fry them sunny side up. It's like whatever I'm in the mood for. I've had them raw, not all the time. They taste actually pretty decent raw. Sorry for asking again, is it possible to eat? Sorry, I'm standing over here, guys. I'm trying to block that light. Sorry for asking again, is it possible to eat too much raw cacao butter? Yeah. If you're reacting to it, and like some more people with histamine intolerance tend to fare better with cacao butter. Obviously, raw cacao, dark chocolate is not ketogenic. But just because I say that it's good for some, like the macadamia nuts, does not mean it's good for all. You guys have to look at everything you stick in your mouth. You have to go and go, no. What are you eating? Just because you see it on the internet, don't shove it in your mouth. You guys have to see if you have a response to it. Because you won't adapt if you have an inflammatory response to a plant source food. You just won't. I stay away from egg whites. They act like estrogen. I don't think so. I mean, the white is to feed the fetus, right? The yolk. But the white is to protect the baby. So there's a lot of that, like, inflammatory reaction when humans try to consume the whites of eggs, and here are people eating egg white omelets, which I think is disgusting. Mucus in the stool, ooh, and constipation. Been on keto for 1.5 years, and all of a sudden developed a dairy intolerance. I definitely need a coach like you before I give up on keto. Please, what is it? Narita, is that how you say your name? Cortez. Definitely a consultation would be good. Don't give up. Mucus in the stool is definitely you're having a reaction to something that you're eating. And a lot of people, like I said, don't just stick things in your mouth. You have to deconstruct and looking at my food. You have to deconstruct and try to isolate foods and document how your digestive system reacts or your stool quality. Because mucus in the stool is a very high sign of a histamine reaction, an inflammatory reaction. How can I gain on keto? Eat a lot of fat? Get your macros right? Sleep right? But that's a loaded question. I need to know more about you. To schedule a consultation with her, go to her website, stephanieperson.com. Thank you, Deborah, for writing that in caps so people know where to go. Don't give up. Exactly, Bree says. Don't give up. Oh my God, I saw the Dr. Oz segment and you looked fabulous. Oh, thank you. Didn't understand why you thought the foundation was off. It was. If you saw me, like this woman's putting on foundation for television, so it didn't look off on television. But if you stood like 5 feet from me and I'm looking at myself in a mirror, it was like I look like a vampire. And because obviously I'm going to do more shows. It's not me to do this, but I think this was like a really great experience, and I want to do more shows, and I want to be able to speak longer than 2 seconds in one segment. You know, they stuck me in one segment probably because I'm a little too controversial, probably. I don't know, I'm guessing. But hopefully I'll be able to be on more shows, either Dr. Oz or other shows, so I can explain more. And people can get a sense more of how much knowledge I have, because I'm like, on that, literally, I think the producer said something like 3 or 4 minutes, but I think it was like under 2. And then you have like, you just got to explain it really, really, really quick. And there's just no time for people to see how much I know unless they come to my channel. Okay, how do I aid with constipation through that? You can start off with yogi. I don't know if it's thyroid, I don't know if it's leaky gut, I don't know if it's candida, I don't know if it's low magnesium from first starting keto and you lose your electrolytes, and that pretty much locks people's bowels up, plus not drinking enough water. So I need to know more. Let's see here, I work out enough to get my muscles to engage the mitochondria in my cells, not trying to go to muscle failure. Good. I barely even sweat most of the time. Thank you for making that comment. Let me see. Press the thumbs up, like button, guy. Oh, like up the stream. What? You guys gotta like up the stream. What? For this 51-year-old dish keto. I love it. But you know what I really love, you guys? Not just keto. I love anything to do with the body and science. I know I'm the keto queen. They called him the keto king, and I was like, maybe too soon. Let me see. The network knows that they have to. Yeah, Corey, I hear you. It is that way. It was actually even explained that way. Things move very fast. You put 16 people in a show. There is no time to explain. Hold on one sec, guys. There is no time to explain things in detail. I do think in a show where it's like, if I'm the only one talking about keto, then I can actually sit down with the host and begin to explain the actual concept of keto, that you cannot drink alcohol. You cannot drink liquor, vodka. You can't drink these very high in ethanol. Age of 51, that's right, Andrew. Things, because it shoots your blood sugar up and drops it, which really dysregulates your blood sugar into hypoglycemia. I describe your info as targeted and specific, not strict. You speak the truth. Oh, this is cool. You have changed my life. Arthritis pain in my right knee, gone. Energy way up. Aw, that is so freaking amazing. Was it? Is that an R in there? Is it white? What? One? Thank you so much. That's a really sweet message. Thank you so much. What does it mean when you're bloated and gassy on keto? A couple things. It could be that you're eating too many mono foods, like you're eating too much broccoli, too many cruciferous vegetables. They might be in salad form. You might have a sensitivity to one of those foods. You need to, people just go and like, oh, these are the keto foods, and they just eat them all the time, and they don't realize they might have a sensitivity to one of those foods. So that's probably what's creating the gas, or you might have a sensitivity to the whey and casein and butter that's making you bloat. I don't really know, because I'm not talking to you directly. Okay, you still have very low energy, most likely not enough fat. If you still have low energy, yes, it's always low. Well, it's not, you guys, if you have low energy on keto, you're not adapted. You're not using, like, let's go down the reasons. This should be my next live stream. Why do you have low energy on keto? Because you're not using ketones. That's a fact. And your blood sugar is probably dysregulated because you had vodka. And you refed, or you had almond flour. No, but there are many reasons why people have low energy. It's because they're not sleeping well, because people use carbohydrates to fall asleep, and they're not sleeping well, or they have cortisol, inverted cortisol, they have stressful jobs, they already have some type of insulin resistance. They can't get their blood sugar down. If your blood sugar is too high, the ketones become more and more unviable. There's a lot of reasons why people have low energy, but it's typically due to adrenal issues, thyroid issues, poor sleep, not enough fat, too much protein. Oh shite, I'm drinking vodka now. That's sad, really. I'm not gonna lie. I've changed so much in the way that I look at food and us as humans. My brain is, I don't know, probably years ahead of, I don't know if like years ahead, but people just grab stuff and stick it in their mouth. I'm always like, what's this? Like, now when I go to a supermarket, it's a completely different person. I'm like, not the same Stephanie. I look at everything different now. Every supplement, every pharmaceutical, every single thing I do, I'm like, wow, I did all these things without ever questioning it. Lotions, toothpaste, makeup, water, the source, like everything becomes different. No, Jason, you don't encounter ketoacidosis unless you are a type 1 diabetic who do not produce insulin from their beta cells. So insulin helps to buffer the acidity of your ketones. So in very rare cases, less than 1%, people can develop ketoacidosis, not on keto, but because they have some type of hardcore infection and their immune system is down and their ketones begin to rise too high. And that's very rare. Normally it's type 1 diabetic. Vegetables make my hands and feet swell now. See, I had to drop them. Keto has made me notice every single little thing about my body. Love it. So cool, Jessica. Okay, Mari says, I agree. I guess I agree. Yes, I'm adding Celtic sea salt to my distilled water along with potassium supplement. Yeah, be careful with the distilled water because you got to make sure you get enough of your minerals up in there. You get a really bad headache. Okay, keto is a lifestyle, not a diet. That is how you know when you have progressed mentally. Yes, Brice. And I think like shows like the Dr. Oz show will then stop making it so much about food. You know what I mean? And start going into the whole, like, what's your existing health? Do you have any metabolic derangement? Like, you know, do you have any hypoglycemia? Any type of, I keep getting freaking Facebook notifications. Sometimes I cannot stand social media. I am not kidding. You said something about potassium supplements a long time ago that made me stay away from them because they're very potassium supplements are 99 milligrams, very little, because they're so damaging to the liver in excess. Be careful when man gets its grubby little hands on supplements and pharmaceuticals, and we take them blindly without realizing the effect of them, even though they might appear to be natural. How much does it cost for a consultation? Go to my site, because I don't like to talk about rates and money. Kind of makes me itchy when I think about that. Just go to my site. It's stephanieperson.com, and go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and my Facebook, my business Facebook, or I call it fan page. It's Stephanie the Business Person, as in the business. And I have a course page on Facebook, but you have to sign up for that. It's a keto course Facebook group. You have to sign up on it on the website, and that's $15 a month. You can do 1 month or 1,000 months. It's up to you. But I think it's a great, amazing space to learn in a course structure how this darn thing works, instead of just a bunch of food porn. And like, I lost so much weight on keto nonsense. Oh, yesterday when I did my live stream, this woman was like, because I was saying like, you know, if you're going to lose all this weight, and like, people don't understand, like, this woman said, you shouldn't fat shame people for losing 60 pounds. I was like, okay, this is someone who's not followed my channel, is very ignorant. Number one, if you lose weight too quickly on keto, you can damage your thyroid, which I've seen a million times. It is not good to lose weight too fast. Sorry, that's hypergluconeogenesis, which raises your cortisol, which is how you actually start spiking your blood sugar and breaking down muscle, which plays a big role when you're losing weight. You're losing water, you're losing muscle. You don't ever want to lose muscle. This is your fountain of youth. You don't want to lose that. Don't forget to subscribe. And Deborah reminds us to subscribe to her Facebook Keto course page. Go to her website, stephanieperson.com. Thank you so much, Deborah, for writing that so people can see it visually. Your body looks hot and sexy. Okay, Andrew, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be, but I'll take it, I'll take it at 51, just as long as we keep it like, simple. Okay, is keto okay if what? If you have high blood pressure? Of course. Randall. That's another thing. A lot of people have high blood pressure because their blood sugar is too high, their stress is too high, they skip meals, they eat garbage. Focus. Stupid Samsung. No, it's a Galaxy. Focus. And yes, of course you can do keto, but I wouldn't do keto if you have high blood pressure if you don't do it the correct way. And there is a wrong way. If you want to know what the wrong way is, go on the internet and Google keto. That's the wrong way. And I will be that sanctimonious to sound like that. Okay, you jumped me. What is it? I didn't see you, sorry. Where? How did I jump you? Tell me about keto and weights to define muscle. It's not a clear question, to be honest. I lift by doing time under tension. I don't do any cardio. Everyone is different. It's too long of a question, and I'm not going to be on the stream that much more because I'm already 36 minutes into this. Okay, how to prevent losing muscle and losing weight too fast. So it's essentially everything I talk about. It's like, get your macros correct for you as an individual. The type of food is very important, that you don't have an inflammatory response to it. So you are not gluconeogenic. Your body releases too much cortisol when it's stressed out. And if you're releasing a lot of cortisol, it's designed to break down amino acids to raise your blood sugar to give you energy. And if you're too gluconeogenic, it affects your adrenals and your thyroid. And then you can't adapt, essentially, when your blood sugar is too high. So sleep is a big part of it. Diaphragmatic breathing is a big part of it. I had a consultation, you guys, right before this. This is why I do my live stream so late. It's because I do consultations right before my live stream. And I was telling the woman, she said I have insomnia and she's on all these sleeping pills. I said, go sit outside. You're in a warm state. Go sit outside with a candle in your backyard for an hour with only audio, nothing visual, and you will fall asleep in 3 weeks. It'll take 3 weeks, but if you go turn off all this stuff, have dimmer lights in your house or candles, and then you go outside with a candle, and you sit and you diaphragmatic breathe and like listen or just have nothing, you will fall asleep. Guaranteed. As long as as long as your blood sugar is stable. Okay, I said that in the comment section of your last stream. I do get it, but I just don't like putting people down who are... No, I'm not putting anybody down, Corey. I think you're just too sensitive. You have to know who I am, and you have to actually analyze the context in which I say things. When I'm saying anybody who loses weight too quickly, that's not safe, and it's not real, it's not keto. If you don't know what I mean, you're being triggered off of something you don't understand. And that's the problem with the internet. So if that was, I don't know, was that you? I can't be you, Corey. Was it you? I thought it was a woman. Are you a woman? Shoot, I don't know. You said, I just don't like putting people down. Corey, that's you. And I'm talking to my whole thing on the internet. Everything that comes out of my mouth is doing things in a safe way. That's it. So how you got putting it down, how your brain mixed what I said yesterday about putting people down is absolute nonsense. And I saw you said no offense, but it's absolute nonsense. And you have to contextualize what I was saying. And probably would have been better if you would ask me to explain more the comment that I said, rather than assuming that I'm putting anybody down. Why would I do that? I work with people every day who are overweight, and I sit and I go overtime in my consultations, and I give them all the love and passion and compassion that I could squeeze every drop out of my existence in my blood. Deborah knows I do live streams on my on Sundays on my keto course page, and I'll sit there for 3 hours constantly being there for people. So when you make that comment, it's really kind of annoying to me, because all I do is care about, Corey, I don't know what you just said, but Deborah's not feeling it. So just be respectful and your comment will appear. Because I don't know what you said, because Deborah, my mods. But what you got to understand is, you don't know the context in which I said anything because you didn't mention it. You just said you put people down, or I don't like doing this. That's you. You don't do what I do. When you do what I do, and you're on this side, and you're helping people every freaking day. I'm doing a live stream tonight. I'm doing another one to help people for free. So there's no putting anybody down. That's just a sensitive button in your own head. Yes, Dom, time under tension seems to, so it seems so easy, but it's amazing. Yeah, so you're doing time under tension. And if I have my weight here, if I'm just using, and here we go, Corey. This is for people who, and I'm very lean, so most people are going to have more body fat percentage than me. So if I'm going slow, that's negative. So as you can see, the bicep is flexed, right? As I go down. If I do bicep curl and I just drop my arm, then I'm not going to get complete actin myosin grinding effect, which creates the blistering effect. If I come up and I go down slowly, you guys can see that I'm contracting my muscles, my shoulders. But if I drop the weight, they barely contract. That's why time under tension is so successful, because you don't have to lift heavy to create hypertrophy in the muscle. So it'll respond in the mitochondria. Brisa says, my consultation with Steph was amazing. Thank you so much, Brisa. She provided the best advice for my situation. And so that's what I'm like. Corey's triggered, but doesn't know how hard and tirelessly and years of being on the internet, trying to educate people with the whole freaking internet community against what I'm saying. That's hard to do. And people who make their comments from the keyboard warrior don't realize that. People think that they know me. They don't know anything about me. If I didn't say I was 51, people wouldn't think that I was 51. So there, right there, there's a misperception. People are like, oh, you've never had kids, so therefore, you know, you can't get lean like that. I'm like, no, but I've had 10 surgeries on my left knee and on crutches for 4 years with a deep infection in my leg. And I'm in menopausal age. I look like this because I worked tirelessly to have this body and this mind and the internal health. There's no, oh, I eat whatever I want and I look like this. Bull crap. I work my ass off every freaking day. Every day. You guys don't know that. You're just looking at the by-effect of a lot of work without realizing all the work involved. Let me see. I'd like to learn more about this. Just checking in. Okay, cool. You have a website for contact information. Yes. Truth Seeker. It's stephanieperson.com. And if you watch the replay, oh, so Deborah put it up. Stephanie Person. I got like a little like emotionally letting some energy out. Okay, is the urine strips? No, they don't work. It's ketone leaving the body. And I try to explain this to many, many people. If you test your ketones and they turn purple, you are not in ketosis. You have to test your blood values consistently, because that's closer to what's happening to your cells. Urine strips are you hemorrhaging ketones. Do you want to hemorrhage ketones, or do you want nothing on that urine strip? But then you also, if you don't produce ketones, it's nothing. If you're in ketosis, it's nothing. So don't use them. They're useless. Why in 2018, Deborah, why are people still using urine strips? What? I mean, do people not know about Precision Extra and Mojo? I mean, I don't understand. Can please somebody help me? I've been working with people with freaking glucometers for years and years and years and years, and people are still talking about urine strips. This isn't toward the individual. I was just thinking in general that everybody still thinks that urine strips are viable. People on the show thought it was like a good way to test, and I was like, all right, this is not my lane. That's not my lane. This is my lane, and YouTube is my lane. It's my channel. It's my TV show. So urine strips don't work. You should aim days, what? Then leg days? Not for keto people. You actually should do more of a full body circuit in time under tension in the beginning. Okay, good stuff. Appreciate love. Love you. Exercise is the best. No knee pain with when I exercise. That's awesome. Hey, Mike. I woke up this morning with my blood glucose at 63. That sounds hypoglycemic. And ketones at a 2.0, I assume. I'm eating close to 200 grams of fat a day via butter and animal fat. Any suggestions? So, Mike, I just need to know more. There's nothing I can suggest, but that 63 glucose, unless you felt great, If you felt friggin' amazing, because you said you try, I read that you tried to hit 200, or you hit 200 grams sometimes. So and close to, oh, okay, I'm eating close to 200 grams of fat. So I think you're more hypoglycemic. So I'd up your fat, especially as a man. And she said it's a recent live stream, but I couldn't find it again. The breathing during time under tension. What? Breathe on the exposed. So you breathe in through your nose, fill the belly with air, and you hold it in, and then you let it out, because when you exhale, your central nervous system begins to relax. She said breathing number 2. Oh, 0.2. Yeah, that's hypoglycemic. No, yeah, it's super hypoglycemic. You need to up the fat, like high. And you have to eat it throughout the day, right? So you don't, so I just need to know more. It's really tough to say. Out on the positive, yes. Or in on the negative. Oh, you mean for working out or for diaphragmatic breathing? Oh, you meant for working out. So it's blowing out on the positive. Wait. Yeah, blowing out. In on the negative, out on the positive. Okay. If you work out 6 days a week, when do you rest your muscles? Oh, I don't train heavy, Kathy, anymore. You only need to rest your muscles if you're sore. So that would be breaking down the muscle fibers, which I clearly do not do. So there's no need to rest at all. There is no soreness at all. You need to rest when you're sore. A good waking up blood sugar, child, Katie, you know this, 69 to 80 milligrams per deciliter with your ketones at a 1.8 to a 3.0, and you have to feel good. That means you have to journal your symptoms as well. Okay, guys, it's time for me to go. I wanted to do a quick stream. Best keto monitor, probably Precision Extra, but the cheaper one is Keto Mojo, because the ketones are so expensive. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to cook some food, and I've got some food already on the stove. So it is time for this girl to get out of here, because I cannot stand the daylight savings has made me talk in the dark with crappy lighting, and I'm not feeling it. Thank you so much, Deborah, for always jumping in and try to be a moderator as best you can. But you've been on it lately, and that person, Corey, I think got triggered because they didn't say anything again. Deborah, you should DM me on Facebook and tell me what they said. If it was Corey, she was like, you know, I don't really like the fact that you're putting down people who've lost weight. I was like, I never did that. That's totally this person's perception. I'm always like, don't lose weight too quickly on keto, because if you lose weight too quickly on keto, you can damage your thyroid, period. I'm not about that. I'm not about weight loss. You guys know I don't talk about weight loss. And I think that's where people kind of get it wrong. They see a thin person saying, don't lose 60 pounds too fast. And it's like, you know, or eat not the right foods on keto. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was saying, if you drop your insulin, this is what I was saying yesterday. If you drop your insulin, right? But you're not ketotic, you just drop your insulin because you drop your carbohydrates, then you'll lose weight very quickly, which is totally hypoglycemic, totally a rebound with your cortisol. And I've seen it over and over again if people do that for too long. So if you're losing 60 pounds and you're not ketotic, that weight coming down, a lot of that is amino acids from all over your body, skin, reproductive system, bone marrow. And if you don't ask what I mean, you think that I'm putting down people who are losing weight. It's the most ridiculous and absurd thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Just absolute garbage. My whole thing is about preservation of people's health. Good night, Camilla from New York. Ciao, Stephanie. KS says, you're looking awesome. Thank you. Been a while since I've been on. Oh, I'm glad that you're now. You are here now. You're welcome, Brice says. Is lard okay? Yeah, lard is great to cook with. So is butter. Like, animal fats are more stable than any of these. Olive oil and avocado oil and coconut oil has a really high, low smoking point. It smokes really quick, this coconut oil. Lard is animal fats. It's pork fat. It's pig fat. Thank you, Mondo. So I want to say thank you to everybody for being so loyal to my channel. And if you guys want to like up the stream before you want to go, that helps bring people to the channel. I put my live stream on private yesterday because I don't want to trigger anybody for now, because I was so gassed up and excited, and just being Steph. And I will turn it back on later. But I decided to do a live stream today for anybody who wanted to ask those questions that were presented yesterday. Thank you, Steph and Deborah. I know, right? Thank you so much, Christina. Christina. Oh, remember, I think Christina was in the stream yesterday, right? Was it Christina? The person was getting triggered. Oh, it was the guy. He was like, when guys are like, oh my God, you're sexy. And I'm like, I'm so not sexy, especially right now. And your number one, Jessica says, thank you. How's my mom? My mom's good. She's just lonely. She needs a boyfriend. But she's good. My mom is good. I'm actually going to go see her for Thanksgiving, and I'm going to do a lot of videos, because that's one thing that the Dr. Oz show said was, hey, well, let's see pictures of you and your mom together. I was like, crap. I didn't think that I would ever need to take a bunch of pictures with my mom to be on a show. So I'm going to do that now. And I realized that I've been too grassroots, too rebel. I'm going to put together some pics of my mom and pics of me and my mom and live video, because my mom is super silly and she would love to be on TV, and my mom's just like that. She's not shy. I guess that's why I'm not shy, although I used to be shy as a child. Ghee is good as long as you don't react to it. Exactly. So, because, there's still small amounts of whey and casein in ghee for people who are very sensitive to dairy. But I'm going to go visit my mom, and I'll do a bunch of videos. I'll do videos for YouTube. I'll do live stream with her. I'll film stuff. So if I ever talk about my story in keto, I'll actually have pictures and a living mother who's still alive. Now she can croak tomorrow, but today the woman is still alive. Vegetables to build resilience to stress? No. I don't know what you mean by that, but that is definitely not true. Plants have anti-nutrients, so you got to be able to have a nice, strong gut wall to be able to deal with the anti-nutrients. I've been looking for a brand of stevia. People use Now and New Stevia. I haven't used stevia in a couple of years. New Stevia? I think it's NU Stevia. Some people go to the Whole Foods flavored brand. They've got vanilla and chocolate and all this kind of stuff. Just looking at you guys' comments. Well, if you guys don't have any more comments or questions, I'm going to enjoy this night. I get firecracky, but I think if I was just fitting the status quo and saying what you guys would want to hear, I think I would just bore myself, to be honest. I didn't save my mom's life. I did not save my mother's life. So I've never said that. That'll never come out of my mouth. And it wasn't just me. It was me and my brother that did everything that we could to save our mother. My brother was way more proactive in the beginning than myself, and then I came in after with keto hard. Is it true that stevia can stimulate insulin? No, it's not. That's the most, no. It's Jessica, I've worked with so many people. Stevia is fine as long as you're not a stevia junkie, because then you guys aren't eating enough fat, you're using too much stevia. I've not seen anyone have a rebound, maybe one in my whole career of doing this, almost 11 years. No, I rarely see it. And it's often not because of stevia and the insulin response. It's often because some people actually have a sensitivity to to stevia itself, and not because it's creating you were awesome on the Dr. Oz. I know, tiny little short segment, but you know what's cool is that I got to go and intro the right away, because I turned it on and watched it myself. The three of us introed the show. And with the girl Suzanne, what was it? I was talking about her yesterday. I want to say that she was very lovely. She was very kind to me. She actually said things that made more sense than some of the other people on the show. But I see how she was able to parlay her story and be on 3 shows. So I think that I need to be smart like her and learn how to do the same. That's the real impression that I left there. So, and I'm really glad that Keto Connect did flax crackers. I was like, what are they going to be making? Okay, good. Flax crackers. Okay, we're good. Even though they're baby seeds, they good. Question. And my sister has the same spots on her cheeks. Is it sunburn? I don't know what that's impossible. I don't even know what it looks like. I couldn't tell you what the spots are. I don't know when they started. I don't know if it was you ate something. I have no idea. I don't know if it's candida die-off, which is probably what it is. Sucralose is a no. That's just sugar. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I am now going to officially eat, shower, because I'm in my workout clothes, and then work some more. Because that's all I do is work. Work, 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 work. That's all I do is work, work, work. So I've got a vacation coming soon. Yes. Question? Okay, got that. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for hanging in on this crazy girl stuff. Thank you, Cass. He says, thank you for all that you do. Thank you. And I'm dehydrated. That means not enough. Too much talking. I did a freaking consultation before this, and I'm talking, and then I'm talking again, and then I get dehydrated. Thank you. Like up the stream, Jessica says. Good night, Mega Woman says. Good night. Thank you, everyone. People on the replay, don't forget to like up the stream to bring more people to this very humble channel where I don't tell you what you want to hear, but I give you some really good information that you can use for the rest of your life. You're going to Jamaica for vacation. That's so awesome. Definitely cool. Found a cool bicycle video to share with you. How can I send it to you? Maybe Facebook. By the way, that's a hybrid bike. So it's got pedals. Somebody's like, you have an electric bike. I'm like, no, it's a hybrid bike. You can actually pedal it. It rides just like a bike. And then when I go up hills, the reason why I got an electric bike is because I go uphill 4 blocks to my gym and my knee was killing me. And I was like, I can't take this anymore. My knee. Intermittent fasting on keto is that cool. No, it's really bad for your adrenal glands and your thyroid, and it doesn't work on anybody. It can work for like a week, but then it doesn't. You have a rebound effect of your blood sugar. People might have high blood sugar because they're eating a lot of carbohydrates, the intermittent fast, their insulin drops, but then it rebounds if they don't keto adapt. So people forget to try to understand the science of actually keto adapting. It seems like it's not being discussed on any platform, not on TV shows, not on like, what happens if you're not adapted? Like, what happens over time? So that's something hopefully people start talking about in the future. And your knee, yes, you have the best bicycle for your needs. Yes. Hi, Stephanie. This is Deborah's daughter. Oh, hi, Grace. Hi, Grace. I love your mom. I love Deborah. She's just been so loyal and such an amazing person, inspiring to me. Love me some Deborah. Right? Deborah's just cool. Like, Deborah's on my course page and she helps there. Deborah just help everywhere. And so positive and so kind and so warm. You know, like sometimes I can be an a-hole, sounding like an a-hole, you know. She's got more diplomacy than I do. That's for sure. Everybody's different with how many times they should eat. If you're hypoglycemic, you should probably eat every 3 hours in the beginning of doing your keto adaptation. If you're not hypoglycemic and you're first doing keto, then it's 3 times a day. And over time, you would not have to eat 3 times a day, but I'm not going into that right now. I try to be positive, but I'm a little badass. I'm a little, I don't got gangsta in me, but I got some whoop ass in my personality. Thank you, Mom. My mother did that. Yes, she did. Because my mom, when I was growing up, would not take BS from nobody. Like, for real. Like, scarily. Hi. Right, H-I-G-H. How many? Okay, guys, I need to shut up and go. It's almost an hour. I told myself half hour. I'm already going over time, and I'm keep trying to block out that horrible light behind me. I have a ring light, but I don't want to turn it on because if I use a real ring light, you guys, I won't be able to sleep at night. It'll just be too strong of a light. So thank you, you guys. And until the next live stream, have a wonderful night, day, wherever you are in this world. And I just thank you for your guys's, loyalty. Loyalty is the word. Sorry that I signed in. Is your book out yet? No, my book is not out yet. I'm not, the whole book thing I had to put on hold for a hot second. But it is almost done, and it is going to be the best keto book out there. And I'm glad I'm kind of like after the big wave of keto books, because you have to save the best for last. Yes, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Right? 51. That's what's up. No refeeding. No alcohol. No food porn. Change your life. Change your mind. Change this mind. It can be possible. You thumbs up anyway. Thank you. Heard of Keto podcast that stevia con mass with estrogen and actually used in birth control in some countries. Maybe, but not the stevia I use. You heard on a podcast something I didn't hear, so I really don't have a comment on it. You're really inspired. Thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte, yes. Charlotte, I have up my fats. Yay! It's helped me a lot. Yeah, having your fats, like if you guys are hungry on keto, you're not going to adapt. Like you're just not eating enough dietary fat. It puts a stress on your body if it's still looking for glucose, and you can't get enough stored glycogen, so the body has to start breaking down amino acids, and we don't want that. Okay, guys, I'm out. Thank you so much for always being here with me, and let's hope that daylight savings will pass real fast, because I can't stand shooting with this horrible light. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm out. Peace.